Hey, what's going on, my fellow travel addicts? Dapper Robinson here. Hey, I was getting ready to plan a European trip for one of my clients, and I figured I'd record and go ahead and give you guys a little tutorial on my tips and tricks along the way. So, what I have going on here, my client wants to go away to Europe for a total of 15 days. They want to see multiple cities while they're there as well, and they want to keep their budget underneath $500 round trip, which is not the easiest thing when you're flying all the way to Europe. And this is their budget on flights, not hotels and everything included. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work on the flights with them. I'm going to show you guys how I get cheap flights. So right off the bat, just to let you guys know, my clients are retired, so they don't have any restrictions on time. So they want 15 days any time of the year during the year 2019. So of course I'm going to go with low season just to make it as easy as possible. So to get started, let me go ahead and open up my Safari. And I already have Skyscanner open because this is my favorite app to use for my flights anyway. So the trick is when you're flying overseas, you always want to fly out of a major airport. So it can be one like Orlando, which I already have on the screen. It can be Fort Lauderdale. It can be Miami. It can be Los Angeles. It can be New York City. It can be Boston, Philly. Any major city that is well known is usually the best when trying to fly overseas because it's a business hub. So my clients are going to be closer to New York City, and that's usually my number one to go to anyway to fly out of. So let's go with New York City, and we can pick any airport in New York City. We want to pick a major city over in Europe as well. So I'm going to let's go with Paris. I'm going to go with Paris, France. And let's click on that. Now, this is not common knowledge, but I know when off season for most places are. So off season for somewhere like Paris is usually going to be around February, January, February, around that time frame. It's usually when you're going to find the best flights. But the good thing about Skyscanner, for those who don't know, is that you can go right on to Skyscanner and click around the different months, and it will actually show you. Let's go ahead and click search flights. Let's go to February, which I already selected. Let's click search flights. So it'll show a calendar on the screen, and anything in green is usually a killer deal. So right now you can see on the left hand side this is the departure flights, and on the right hand side this is the flight back home. So I have a lot of green over in February, and just to kind of give you guys a show, just to look at other months, so you can see March is also pretty good, except for the return flights. Most of them are in red. Same thing with April. So usually the first part of the year is pretty good, but just looking at the quick browse really quickly, February looks like it was the best. Plus I have to do internal flights because they want to do other stops along the way, so I'm going to go ahead and go with February. All right, so let's start off. Let's say let's go pretty early, and let's go February 5th. As far as return, let's see. Yeah, let's go February 5th, starting at 125. It looks like that first week, except the 1st of February, is pretty much good, but I usually like to have my flights going out on the Tuesday. So let's go with February 5th for the departing flight. The way back, they already told me they want to stay 15 days, so hopefully the 15th day, which would be the 20th, is in green as well, so perfect. I can go ahead and pick Wednesday, February 20th, for the flight back home. Let's go ahead and show the flights, give it a moment to load, and see which one's going to be the lowest. So right off the bat, great deal already. I already see $259, and this is with Primera Air, so pretty reputable airline company. What I'm doing now, I'm just waiting for it to finish loading here, just to make sure that this $259 is the lowest cost, which it is. It just stopped loading, and it's a non-stop flight, so 7 and 8 hour flight. So this one is leaving out of Newark, and it's going to be going into Charles de Gaulle. All right, round trip. So this is, let me go ahead and pull up a notepad so we can track the cost. So let's see. So we have the flight from EWR going over to CDG. CDG. And we are at a total cost of $259. All right, so I already used up half the budget. So remember I told you they wanted to go ahead and see 5 different stops along the way. So usually It's pretty easy to know. Well, I just go for anything in the area. So when you're flying into Paris, then I'm probably going to go the Italy route, maybe a little bit of Budapest or Spain or something like that. Some other cities that are close by, because they did tell me they want to see a lot of cities along the way, but they gave me a pretty low budget. So now what I'm going to do, I have my round trip from February 5th to the 20th in Paris. I'm going to try little vacations in between, and then we're going to get back to Paris on the 20th. So let's start off, and let's pick another major port that's close by, and let's say Rome. All right, so Rome is something everyone wants to see. So let's go from Paris over to Rome. So let me just go back. And let's go back again. Do the same thing. So Paris. And we're going to go to Rome. Go to any airport in Rome. And now we have to be a little more specific with the dates. So let's see. We got to stay in the window of the 5th and the 20th. So look at this. Extremely cheap flights. And you know what? I made a mistake. Let me go back. I put round trip because they're going to be going to different places. We only have to do one trip flights. So I'm going to go to February. Oops. Let's do it again. From Paris. And we have them ending in Rome. We're going to search the entire month of February. So we want to give them at least a little bit of days to settle in. You're going to have jet lag and everything from the time they fly from New York. So let's give them up until the 8th. They're going to fly out on the 5th and probably land on the 6th. So let's say, flying out on the 8th. Look at that, $18. So we're going to click on the 8th just to make sure that this is true. Go back and go to search. Right now, the lowest cost flight is showing $18. And just let this finish loading just to make sure that this is the lowest cost one, which I'm pretty sure it is. It's a pretty decent flight. All right, still loading, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot and say that this is the lowest cost one. So let's go ahead, and it's going out of BVA, which is going to be pretty close by. And it's going to CIA. So let's pull up the notepad again. Let's add this in here. BVA to CIA. Now we have a total cost of $18. So let's add the $18 in there. All right, so I already got one city for them. So now we have a couple of days I can get them out in Rome. All right, so after Rome, let's pick another major city that everyone knows. And let's see. Let's go back to flights. So now we have them in Rome, and we want them to go somewhere else. So I have a map here on my wall. Let me go ahead and take a look at it, see what I can think of. And let's go with Madrid. Madrid is a pretty major stop. So let's go right here. Let's do the whole month of February again. My notepads to see my window. Actually, let me add in dates in here as well just to make this easier. So flight is out on February 5th. So I can remember. I have in Paris from the 8th. And we have it going into the 11th. And now we want them to go to Madrid. And let's see. So Madrid, I can have them, let's give them a couple days now. I don't want to wait all the way until the 13th, even though that's when you see it go green again, because they want to visit so many other cities at the same time, and I only have a 15-day window. So even though this is in the yellow, $39 one way is still not a bad flight deal at all. So let's go with the 11th or the 12th, just to give them that extra day in Rome, because I would want that. Let me go with let's go with the 12th. So we have them there on 12th. Let's make sure it says $39 is the lowest rate. Let's make sure this is true. so far from CIA to MAD is looking pretty good. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that $39 is true. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking the notes on it while the screen is loading. So CIA, MAD. Total cost $39. Yep, and it was the lowest. And it's nonstop again. And we have them flying here. And let's see how many days we want them to stay here. Let's say about the 15th. I'm going to say the 15th just to be safe. Give them a couple of days here. All right, and let's go back and get another stop. I should have just clicked flights. All right, so here, after Madrid, let's take a look at the map. A lot of clients like Berlin. So let's say we're going to go from Madrid and let's go to Berlin. Let's do the whole month again, whole month of February. Let's click search. I said around the 15th is what I was going to go for. And it's in the green. It's a Friday, but that works out. $21 is the possibility here. So we're going to click on it. Hit search flights. Let's make sure it's true. This one's loading pretty fast, so I can already tell that it's true. All right, so from Madrid, I'm going to have them fly over to SXF, which is going to be Berlin. And we have our flight at the lowest cost at $21 is the average that I'm looking at. So we have that one leaving out on the 15th. And I don't know how many days are going to be here yet. Let's see what I can get again. So I only have really one more stop that I need to figure out. Let's go ahead and go search again. And we're going to do from Berlin. And let's see. Let me take a look at another map. Let's see what we can put. Budapest. Budapest is close by, and it is another popular port. So let's go to Budapest. Let's go the whole month, February, search. All right, so in Budapest, the best time for us to go, I'd give them enough time to get back. Let's go with this. Let's go with the 17th. Let's go with the 17th on this one. So click, even though it's the one in the red, like I said, I had to get 5 stops and I still have to go ahead and get them back over to Paris. So let's go with the 17th and I'll probably have them leave out on the 19th. Let's see. All right. So from SFX, it's looking so far like the lowest cost flight is going to be that $26 flight. So, yep, let's go there. We have them in Budapest, so I have my 5th country, and so far it's looking good on the cost. I haven't added it up yet, but pretty sure it's only $500. So right now we have a $26 flight being our lowest cost. This is leaving out on the 17th. Use that here. We're only here to the 17th. And then we just have to find the flight back over to Paris so they can catch that round trip that we had here in the beginning. All right. Which I had at the 20th. All right, so now we know we have to catch the flight back on the 20th. We're already in Budapest, and it's the 17th. Let's see. So you don't want to fly in the last possible minute and fly in on the date of the 20th when you have to catch a flight. So let's go with the 19th. Go back into Paris. And I picked the date this time because we know that you have to be back by that date, so they really don't have any choice on this last flight. But so far, it's looking pretty good with EasyJet. I'm thinking that's going to be the lowest one. It's the 19th. And from Budapest to CDG. Back at the starting point. $48 is the lowest cost, so we'll hit the $48. Land here on the 19th. Stay a night in your hotel and fly out on the 20th. So I have their 5 stops. So they're going to be going into Paris. After Paris, we have their second city to be visiting of Rome. Then we're going to have them head over to Madrid, Berlin, Budapest. So got my 5 and then got them back into Paris. And it's looking like I did that underneath $500. So right now we have the $259 plus the $18 plus the $39 plus $21 plus $26 plus another $48. That's $411, guys. $411. Got 5 countries, 15 days, $411 worth of flights per person. That's not bad at all. That is actually really, really great. So $411 to get you to see all these cities. And of course, we're going to have to throw in hotels and things like that. I'm going to have to speak with my clients a little bit more as far as hotels go, just to see what they're looking for. Me personally, I normally go the Airbnb route, but these are older folks, so they might not want to do that. But of course, any of my listeners or followers that are younger or in the same age group as me know that we're probably going to go with the Airbnb and the best option as far as that. But $411 per person for your flights, 15 days. That's amazing. That is amazing. And our dollar is pretty strong in a lot of these countries as well. So I'm sure you can find a hotel for a reasonable rate. So this is my tutorial on how you can find cheap flights over to Europe and do multi-cities without having to go over $500. I hope this helps somebody out. If you guys have any better tips, please leave it in the comments below. Would love to hear it. See if you guys have anything that I have missed in my ears. Subscribe. Don't forget to click subscribe right here on the right hand side. And I'll see you guys soon. Good day.